on, but we're gonna get through this.
I could be on Mars. It's plausible. I mean, like we could terraform Mars. Maybe not the technology we have right now, but we could do it. I believe in us. Anyway, let's talk about movies.
Okay, great. So, I actually wanted to hear more for the second part of the conversation, but we'll get through like the kind of business end of it first.
Yeah.
Which is the actual part where we talk about the box office.
Yeah. Who made money? Who lost money? Who we don't know.
And then we're gonna dog on Spider-Man for.
Oh, we are.
Yes,
I love that. I love dogging on Tom Holland. Him specifically, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Especially with how he stacks up to like.
Yeah, like Timothée Chalamet.
What?
Tom Holland, Timothée Chalamet. You know, they're like the two little like young kind of hot actors.
Oh, okay. Like.
I'm just saying they're in the same category.
Hot male actors under 30 who like make like all the box office money in the world. Yeah. So, speaking of Spider-Man, though, to start us off, it's joined the $2 billion club.
Okay.
Which is ridiculous because it's only been out for 3 weeks.
I mean, like, how common is that historically? Do you know?
Very uncommon.
Okay.
I mean, it's uncommon to reach 2 billion.
Period.
Full stop. In 3 weeks is kind of outrageous.
One thing I kind of just wonder about is like, are we talking about in like an absolute dollar amount? Where if we go back and we kind of, adjust for like how much money was worth.
So, one caveat is that, and that's kind of why every movie tends to be, like every summer you tend to have a box office breaking gross is because the gross is not calculated for inflation.
Yeah.
Which of course the price of tickets has gone up.
Yeah.
In terms of dollar gross, in terms of butts in seats.
Yeah.
If you're going by that measurement, it's still. You cannot deny that people are going to see this thing.
So it's remarkably successful by whichever metric we choose to use.
Is it the most amount of butts in seats? Maybe not.
Probably not. It's some James Cameron movie.
Probably. Honestly, like Titanic, maybe.
Yeah, it's probably some James Cameron movie.
Or maybe that original Avatar.
Yeah.
But it's having a crazy run. The Force Awakens is the only movie with a higher third weekend total.
Well, and that's interesting because I went to go see The Force Awakens. I think on the second week it came out because it came. All the Disney sequel movies came out like really late in the year, like early to mid-December.
Yeah.
And my birthday's in December, and I was a huge Star Wars fan. And between like 13 and 15 and that type of range where they came out, so I went to go see all of them from Rogue One to Episode 9, that was so bad that I forgot the name of it. Rise of Skywalker. I went to go see all of them in the theaters. And I distinctly remember The Force Awakens not being very good.
Yeah. So it was a dormant franchise that people were really wanting to see again after 10-something years of inactivity on the IP.
At least in the box office.
That third Friday. I mean, now did they like? They wanted to see it revived. Now, did they like the? Yeah. Did they like it? Did they like the idea more than they liked the actual product that was presented?
I think that probably shows in Episode 8 and Episode 9's box office, where a lot of people were just genuinely very disappointed in Episode 7.
But
we'll have that conversation later in the show.
Yeah, that movie though, in terms of third week totals was the way they put, which actually hilariously enough, this is the exact day Doomsday is releasing on this year as well.
Interesting.
Its third Friday is going to hit New Year's Day, which if you think about, that's the second best time to release something behind like these like totally dead summer months where everyone's out of school and work.
It's Christmas, right? So people probably have more free time than they otherwise would. Mm-hmm. They probably either they have a little bit of extra money floating around for Christmas, whatever, that type of thing, or they just want to go have a good time. And also, kids are all out of school. So something like superhero movies or Star Wars that is going to appeal to family audiences and adult audiences. Yeah. It's going to be the summer or it's going to be around Christmas.
So this is a different time of year, but Brand New Day is obviously it had probably the cushiest summer spot.
Well, because I remember our last episode of this was us talking about how Brand New Day is kind of like the only success story from the big budget stuff this year, right?
Just about with the exception of what I'm about to get into, the Odyssey.
Oh yeah.
So the
Well,
Odyssey,
that's Chris Nolan. That's a different demographic.
That's a whole different.
That's a different demographic. That's got Anne Hathaway in it.
That's.
It's got some other people.
By the
too.
way, I've just been seeing like clips of her and stuff. She just always impresses me, and we're gonna talk about some actors that like I've just been impressed by this summer. But Anne Hathaway like comfortably makes that list because she's just crazy.
You know, the most historically accurate part about the Odyssey is the fact that she's only about not even 15 years older than Tom Holland, who plays her son in the Odyssey.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, as far as we're aware, gauging off of the Greek areas around Ithaca, because I'm not particularly familiar with Ithaca as a singular place. But marrying someone at 15 is not uncommon, right? So I believe in the movie Telemachus, who is Tom Holland's character, is supposed to be like in his mid-20s, and Penelope is supposed to be in her, early 40s. So they're like 13 years apart or something like that in real life.
And each of those people are just like actually a little older than the age of the person they're actually supposed to be playing.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, Tom Holland might not be. Isn't he like 28?
He's 28, 29.
Yeah. So that might be about where Telemachus is supposed to be, and again, we get into the whole weird stuff with how old was everyone that went to the Trojan War. But.
Yeah. But no, it's done incredible. Now, almost next to like Spider-Man, it doesn't look like it's doing quite as incredible, but like, this is it's a 3-hour long R-rated movie about an ancient Greek Homeric tragedy, essentially, right?
So it's again getting back to demography. It's shooting for an entirely different category of person who wants to go see the Odyssey.
But I mean, it's gone past Top Gun. It's gone past Wolverine and Deadpool. It's now the highest grossing R-rated movie of all time, which is kind of just insane to think about when you think about, I mean, next to Spider-Man, the Odyssey doesn't look like anything, obviously, because nothing looks like anything compared to Spider-Man. But
they're kind of playing in different leagues, right?
Top Gun Maverick and Wolverine and Deadpool surprised a lot of people when it came out too. But Top Gun Maverick was also like, that was...
So the difference is Top Gun Maverick is propaganda for the U.S. military and not a particularly good movie. And their dogfights are wrong.
But the general public doesn't know that.
Well, the general public should know that. The general public needs to know about the flight performance of the FA-18E Super Hornet. They need to know about the ballistic characteristics of the AIM-120 C5 AMRAAM.
In any case, the Odyssey has passed a lot of like other summer blockbusters that you would have thought that there's no chance that a 3-hour-long Greek epic would ever hit that like kind of high, and Chris Nolan is just like,
dude, there's like something in the water where he lives. Yeah, like it's freaky. He made a biopic about one of the most boring people that's historically relevant, J. Robert Oppenheimer, a man who had some weird stuff in his personal life, but like. You made a biopic about a nuclear physicist.
Think about the climax of that movie. It's not the actual nuke scene. It's the scene where they're berating him for creating it in the first place in some back room of a government building.
Yes.
Like, how lame.
Yeah, it's like, literally him getting chewed out by bureaucracy. Yes. And that movie, like, was extremely culturally impactful for, like, years.
Except, like, I was like, this is so exciting. This is riveting. It's like, no, it shouldn't be, though.
It's like, Chris, what are you doing? Yeah. Like... Well, in his movie before that, Tenet was just like that one. I think he got too cute with.
That movie made $250 million during like the worst part of COVID, though.
Seriously?
Yeah, it did.
For a movie,
and that was his worst. And that was
for a movie that is like so arcane and strange. The only people I know who understood it are like truly giant weirdos.
Oh, I'm one of them. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I included you in that.
Good to know.
Like implicitly.
Good to know. No, it's he's crazy. He's crazy.
Yeah. It's kind of like James Cameron in the 2000s. He can make just about anything sell.
Honestly, I can't wait to see what he does next.
Yeah.
So, have you heard of Disney's D23?
No, not at all.
So,
So is it like a dice? Is it like a D20 but it's 23 sided?
I don't know why they call it D23. I really don't. I thought it might have been like D26 for like
Yeah, Disney 2026.
Or maybe D28, because most of these movies that they showed at this event might be coming out in no, but none of those are the case. So this was Disney essentially saying everything is fine. We might have had some stinkers this summer, but everything is totally fine.
I heard about this because they announced Zootopia 3 at it. Or like some event related to it.
It was probably this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They announced Zootopia 3, and I have people in my life who care about that franchise.
But it's essentially what it is it's just a lot of it concerns the MCU, because people are obviously very worried about the MCU right now, because as we've talked about a couple of times, their budgets are inflating, but the actual popularity of them has never been lower.
Not necessarily going with that budget.
Right. So they're not the trend lines are not staying with each other. But they've done a lot of other things at this event that will make some people happy and some people be like, that's bizarre.
Well, they got Ryan Seacrest hosting the event thing.
Yeah.
What is Ryan Seacrest? That's a sidebar. We're gonna get to that later.
But very very basically, a couple of Pixar movies. There's a new one called Ghost Market. They're gonna have Incredibles 3. Disney Animation, for their part, is going to make a couple of new movies. The live-action Lilo and Stitch is getting a sequel. That
seems like a bad idea.
Well, it was not a good idea the first time, but it made a lot of money, so they're gonna do it again. They're gonna make a live-action Tangled movie.
See, that one could work. That's one of the ones I think that could work.
I just don't. At the very least, this is not a Moana situation where I'm like, okay, this movie was 5 years old when you decided to
Tangled's
remake it in
well
live
over
action.
a decade old.
It is, and going back and watching it, the story is still really good, but good lord.
Well, but it's a little more grounded than something like Moana.
Yeah, but those 2010s animations, sometimes they had some jank in them, even on the high end, very professional, high grade budgets. Some of that 2010s animation,
especially the 3D stuff, or okay, we're gonna get into my bit about knowing about animation here for a second, because largely Disney in the 90s had this. It eludes me what exactly it was called, but if you've seen most of the 90s Disney classics and even some in the early 2000s, Treasure Planet is the one that I always go to, because that movie looks incredible.
It does. Yeah.
Visually it's incredible. The plot's a little dumb, but visually all those Disney movies look incredible. They went away from that style towards a more a less hand-drawn art style in the late 2000s, early 2010s. And those movies can look good. Obviously Moana looked incredible. Yeah. It's a very late example of this, but Moana visually is incredible. I thought Frozen looked fairly good. Conspiracy theories about Walt Disney's head aside, I thought visually as a movie it looked pretty good. The snow effects were very solid. Something I always like to look at with animation is the character's hair.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's a big one in Tangled, is because obviously her whole thing is her hair. But the character's hair in Frozen looks relatively good for what is essentially 3D computer animation. Obviously not in the same way that you see television 3D animation, right? You get all sorts of weird stuff with 3D animated television shows. But movie quality 3D animation has gotten a lot better. And I do wonder if some of those earlier Disney 3D animated films, because of the stylistic limitations that those 3D stuff imposed on them, would be better for live action, because they tend to be a little more grounded.
You bring up a good point. I'm not totally against it, but it is just one of those things where, yet again, it's Disney remaking this movie for the nth time. Yeah. And it's a story everybody knows, and it's just,
Because it's basically just Rapunzel again, right? Yeah, that's what it is. I didn't even think about that, but yeah. I don't know. I almost wonder if they'd be better off doing the old Disney classics. I guess they've already done most of them.
Most of I mean
because they done a Snow White
in live action.
Yeah, I know they did Wicked, but that's kind of a whole different thing.
Mm-hmm. I guess not. They have.
Well, not in the Wicked. I'm thinking of Maleficent.
Yeah.
Wicked's some other thing.
That's
the Wizard of Oz one where they made Ariana Grande go on Ozempic and starve herself.
I don't know if anybody made her do that.
She made herself do that.
Something happens, but yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah.
Skeletor out here. Good Lord. I shouldn't make fun of her. She's probably going through something. But anyway, they did like Maleficent. They did live action Beauty and the Beast, which I think kind of sparked this whole thing.
Yes. And that one I think was pretty good. I mean, the Beast's CGI was a
little weird,
was the most.
Well, but it was well acted. Had Emma Watson, who at that point was coming off the last couple Harry Potter films, and was a very popular actress amongst a wide demographic of people for a massive amount of reasons. So I don't know. I do also wonder how much the success of these live action Disney movies is going to come down to casting. Like, as cynical as that sounds, I do wonder how much of it is just going to come down to casting.
Well, I thought what was insane is that they literally did put Dwayne Johnson in Moana, right? So you assume that Dwayne Johnson, big star, Moana was a popular animated movie, right? He voiced the character.
Yeah,
in the animated.
he voiced Maui.
And so you think that it's going to hit the same whenever it goes to live action, right? Because honestly, he looks like he could play this guy.
Yeah, he's a big muscly bald guy. You put him in a wig, he's the guy.
But people didn't bite on the live action Moana. So the question is they're going to keep doing the live actions, right? But at what point is it going to be like, oh no, people are not going to see these?
Like, at what point do you also have to? Because again, kind of getting back to that casting, I think Dwayne The Rock Johnson, aka The Boulder, I think part of the reason I didn't like them casting him in the live action one, despite him being the voice actor for the animated one, is because I think The Rock is just a much better voice actor than he is live action actor, right? Yeah. Because obviously he can act. He's from a pro wrestling background. He's been a professional actor since he was 25, right? Because that's what pro wrestling is. Fun fact. But I think in live action, he's very heavily typecast, and he's kind of flat in that type, right?
Whereas Dave Bautista is trying really hard to leave the typecast.
Yes.
The Rock is
well, and Dave Bautista is actually genuinely a pretty good actor.
Right.
I've seen him in things and gone, wow, that's Dave Bautista.
Yeah.
Right, like that guy can actually kind of act, right? Like obviously he's still the big muscle man, but he has range.
A lot like Vin Diesel, where they are they've just accepted the typecast.
Yeah,
like they are the big muscle guys.
Like Vin Diesel has two characters, and it's John Fast and Furious and Riddick, and those are Vin Diesel's two characters.
Well, but they're the exact same character.
Yeah, basically. Well, one of them just has weird Shinigami eyes,
But on the Marvel side of that Disney D23 event, they're having an untitled X-Men movie. The first time the X-Men will be under the Disney banner as opposed to the Fox.
Could be interesting.
They're going to recast pretty much everyone, it looks like, which could serve to be confusing given that a lot of the X-Men, including Hugh Jackman and Wolverine, are going to be in that multiverse Avengers movie.
You do have to be careful with that. I think there are a few Fox X-Men they should probably bring back. The two that spring to mind to me are Patrick Stewart as Charles Xavier and Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. Although I do wonder if Hugh Jackman's getting too old.
I was gonna say they've recast, and it's not a big deal in the past, but they've recast a couple of other like Spider-Man. They've recast. Yeah,
they've recast him 3 times in 20 years.
They need they kind of want the high school Spider-Man, right? And so I wonder if if you have these young blood, if you have Cyclops in here and he looks 25 to 30. How odd it's going to be to have Professor Xavier,
Charles Xavier
and Wolverine over there looking
Well, but Wolverine is 200 years old.
Well, and that's actually true
in canon, and Charles Xavier's is 70.
We'll see what they do. It's untitled. It has no release, I don't think. Oh no, May 5th. It does have a release, but It's an untitled project. A lot of the actual cast has not even come forward yet. We know who's playing Jean Grey because of the new Spider-Man movie.
Jean Grey's in the new Spider-Man movie?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
We'll get to that.
Who's playing Jean Grey?
It is Sadie Sink from Stranger Things.
Oh. That's actually pretty good casting.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty good casting. How old is she? She's 24. She was born a year before me. Oh my god. But that's actually pretty good casting.
I would think that that's the direction they're going to go for a lot of them now.
Yeah.
Though. For like the X-Men, like you think they're going to make Cyclops.
They're going to presumably they're going to make Cyclops around the same age as they're making Jean Grey.
They're going to make they're
going to make Wolverine 10 to 20 years older than them, or at least in appearance.
Right.
And then they're going to have
Storm.
Yeah, Storm, Beast, Cyclops, Jean Grey, some combination of Nightcrawler, Rogue, and Bobby the Iceman.
And you have to wonder how Gambit fits into all of that too, because Gambit is being played right now
in the Deadpool movie by Channing Tatum.
But Channing Tatum is much too old. If you're going back to like the mid-20s and 30s range.
I just think Gambit was kind of older than all of them too.
Yeah,
because he's one of the he's not necessarily associated with the X-Men until like later in his life.
Yeah,
because he does a lot of stuff. At least to my understanding, I'm not necessarily a super expert on this. I'm going to speak authoritatively, but I have no authority. My understanding is he's kind of like messing around with like Genosha with Magneto in them for like the early part of his life, and then comes to the X-Men later.
Right.
So they could conceivably have like an older cadre. I understand Storm's usually a little older than the rest of the X-Men too.
Yeah.
Wolverine, Storm, Beast all tend to be a little bit older. I think they could probably just keep the guy they cast in the Fox X-Men as Beast. He might be a good keep.
But we'll have to see, because a lot of that has not come to light. But assuming everybody stays in the age range of Jean Grey, it's going to be a much younger X-Men than a lot of the X-Men characters that first started with the Fox movies.
Yeah, like First Class through Apocalypse and Dark Phoenix.
There's also going to be they revealed Ghost Rider.
Interesting. Is it Nick Cage?
It is not Nick Cage.
Crying shame.
It is Ryan Gosling.
Are you serious?
Very serious, yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Ryan Gosling. Oh my god, he just can't stop being in movies where he drives cars.
I love Drive.
I'm not saying Drive's a bad movie. I like Drive. I like Blade Runner. But like, come on, man.
He's good.
Do something else.
He's awesome. I love Ryan Gosling.
Be in a Tarantino movie or something.
I love Ryan Gosling. Is he the right Ghost Rider? I have no idea.
Yeah,
is he better than Nick Cage?
Almost certainly.
Almost certainly.
It's not a very high bar, man.
No, but it's like, but that does make me wonder. He was kind of an obvious guy to make a movie about if you're Marvel. But I get that, after having those Nick Cage movies, they might have been like, I don't actually know if we want to take a swing at this.
I think Ghost Rider as a character is popular enough and interesting enough. I don't see a reason it couldn't have the kind of success like the Deadpool movies had. Yeah. Right? Where Deadpool kind of before Ryan Reynolds and the big, large mainstream inclusions in sort of MCU adjacent spaces. Mm-hmm. Deadpool is a fairly niche comic character.
Yes.
Who really only people who already know a lot about Marvel Comics really knew anything about.
He started off they literally created Deadpool as a joke. He was an actual rib at Deathstroke.
Yes. He's literally a joke about Deathstroke from DC Comics, right? And it's sort of basically a parody character of itself, right? It's like a parody of superheroes as a concept turned into one of the most successful superhero movies ever. We talked about Wolverine and Deadpool, right? So I do wonder if Ghost Rider, because I think a lot of Deadpool's film success was carried not necessarily by like casting choices or necessarily direction choices, but just how genuinely entertaining of a character Deadpool can be for short stints.
Yes.
Like, obviously I probably wouldn't want to watch a television show with Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool is the main character.
Right.
But for an hour and a half of my life, it's pretty entertaining. I think Ghost Rider...
If you give him a good foil, too.
Exactly.
I think the Wolverine buddy cop works really well because Wolverine is, like, completely over his...
complete straight man, right? And then Colossus in Deadpool 2,
well,
very good.
They have to give him one of those.
Yeah, you have to give him a straight man.
Yeah.
Or the taxi driver in the first one.
Yeah.
Kind of similar, right?
Because I don't think he works very well if you don't.
No.
Like, it can go really off the rails if you...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because there's two... I know in the comics, Deadpool has generally been accepted to work very well with Wolverine, some of the X-Men, right? Some of the more serious X-Men, and Spider-Man.
Sometimes they will give him... Yeah, and Spider-Man. That's exciting. That would be fun.
That would be fun because then you, especially with the characterization they're going with in current Spider-Man, where he's kind of like a fun, goofy little guy.
Sometimes they make him a schizophrenic, so he's got like
actively insane.
He's got like multiple personalities.
Yeah.
And like sometimes one of those take over as the straight man.
Yeah.
But like, I think you're right. You kind of have to have one.
Yeah. Well, I think getting back to Ghost Rider, I do wonder if they're kind of trying to buoy this movie off Ryan Gosling because he's had a
great run.
Yeah, he's had a string of very successful and very good movies. The only one I can think of that was kind of a dud in my head was like The Fall Guy. I don't remember anything about that movie, but I mean, he was in Project Hail Mary. He was Ken and Barbie, right? He's done a lot of stuff recently that people have really liked.
One of the big things that I'm kind of interested in seeing is that. Ryan Gosling is a dancer, so he's very dexterous, and I want to see if that does anything for like Ghost Rider, because if you see him in like Project Hail Mary and stuff, he's doing a lot of his own kind of stunts, where he's not in but like he's not in gravity, right? He's in space floating around
with a rock who doesn't wear clothes.
He's so yes, what a movie,
what a film.
But he's so dexterous that he really does kind of make those anti-gravity scenes look very graceful. And so I kind of wonder if there's anything they can make him do in this Ghost Rider movie that would show off that particular like talent of his.
Well, and I think Ghost Rider, they might be going for, going back to the Blade Runners and the Drive part of his career where he is... Blade Runner is not necessarily about this. I'm just kind of aesthetically comparing it, right?
Yeah.
But Drive is more comparable, I think, on a film level because so much of what Ghost Rider does is drive a motorcycle.
He plays very similar characters in both, though.
He does.
He's got this same like kind of. I would argue that most people remember him best for those kinds of like. Just the vibes that his face gives you in some.
Culturally, the lasting memories of Ryan Gosling are going to be La La Land, Blade Runner, Ken, and Project Hail Mary. If I had to name 4 right now, and 2 of those are okay. None of those are particularly similar characters, right? But they all benefit from having Ryan Gosling play them because he has such a presence, right? Project Hail Mary, he's like one of 2 characters in most of the movie,
and he's really acting with himself in most cases.
Yes, he's acting with like it's like acting with Andy Serkis as Gollum, right? You're basically acting with yourself, right? And then you go back and you look at like Blade Runner, where he is playing this very stoic, very like tragic,
robotic,
tragic sort of dehumanized character, and that's sort of the irony of Blade Runner, right? And then I don't know. I feel like Ryan Gosling's range is both larger than people think it is and smaller than people think it is.
Yeah, but then like exactly predictable sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. Because like he does have kind of a stereotype of the characters he likes to play, right?
See, Marvel casting so rarely misses too, because most of the time, whenever you see people cast for a Marvel movie, you think that's perfect. So I think wonder.
I honestly think that was very true up until about 2020.
Okay.
Because if again we go back and look, right, like the older Marvel movies, I think
people were really pleased with Spider-Man's casting.
Yeah, Robert Downey Jr. Incredible casting as Iron Man. Tom Holland as Spider-Man. Great choice. Right. Which brother?
All the Chris's, pretty much.
Yeah. Chris Evans, the other Chris who was Thor.
Hemsworth Pratt.
Yeah, Hemsworth. Well, I didn't love Chris Pratt.
As Star-Lord? He didn't make sense to you?
I mean, he makes sense aesthetically, but I think as an actor, maybe not. Maybe I'm just poisoned by watching too much Parks and Rec.
You've watched the Jurassic World movies, and you're like, Chris Pratt.
No, I watched too much Parks and Rec. I can only see him as Andy Dwyer.
Also,
Velociraptors can't open doors. Neither can Deinonychus.
clever girl.
No raptorial dinosaurs can pronate their hands like this to open a door, or they can't grasp like this, or if they could, not enough to open a doorknob. Anyway, off my tangent about dinosaurs. But then I think after about 2020 and Endgame, some of the casting just got way worse.
Well, you think it's gotten a lot more random feeling, like some people were really excited to have RDJ come back as Doctor Doom, but then also you question there was seriously no one else.
Yeah, there's no one else you could go out and get.
Especially when Robert Downey Jr. is so expensive as an actor.
You could have got John Malkovich.
Like,
you could have got like 6 different guys.
Yeah. Honestly, you could probably have hired 6 guys for the budget they're paying RDJ.
Dude, exactly.
And had him swap out scenes. Honestly,
he has Doom bots. Like you could get like 6 different Doctor Dooms, and I'd believe it. But
so I guess you're right. It has gotten a little more.
I think also
suspicious.
Marvel movies excuse me, Marvel movies have just kind of gone down a little bit in quality. And I think they've started casting for names, not necessarily for fit. Right, and it's where we look at like Spider-Man. Tom Holland, what was he even in before Spider-Man?
Nothing really all that known to the American audience.
Yeah, so nothing huge in the U.S.
He was really big in England.
Well, yeah, he's English, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's kind of how that works. But like,
well, kind of like what's his name?
Who are we talking about?
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Oh yeah,
big English actor.
He kind of existed in stuff before it was Doctor Strange.
I mean, but not in the American kind of.
Maybe I'm too internet pilled because so many people knew him from Sherlock.
Okay.
So much of
that's a definitively English.
But like
thing that he's playing.
But it was very popular at points in the 2010s in America, right? So kind of a lot of people knew. I need to stop bumping my microphone. After this sentence, mute me and I'll move it. So a lot of people knew who he was just because BBC's Sherlock was so big in parts of American culture. And I'm outing myself as a Reddit user here. Right? But he was very large in parts of particularly internet spaces for a long time and also was big in England. And sometimes those people tend to do well in America. Sometimes they bust. But more often they do better in America than they did in England. So I think that like maybe getting some random English actor could be a good idea. Maybe you cast like Robert Pattinson as something. He could be interesting. He did a pretty good job as Batman. I don't know who they cast him as.
I'm gonna talk about him. I'm gonna talk about him in just a second. But Robert. Oh my gosh. Yeah. No, you've got me on that now. The very last thing I want to talk about on the business end before we get into the more freeform stuff though is End of Oak Street came out. That was a WB movie. It nailed its projected target opening gross. It was projected for $200 million. It grossed 21 million.
Interesting.
So it nailed it. As we talked about in the last episode, WB is in a really tough spot because essentially they've had movies just either breaking even or flopping entirely this summer. And so the last thing that they have for the year coming out before Dune, which is obviously competing with Avengers, so that's a whole, that's a wait and see kind of thing. The only thing they have is Tom Cruise's Digger.
They didn't call the movie that.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, that's what it's called. Yeah. And now it's got to dig them out of this massive hole.
They didn't name the movie that.
You want me to really blow your mind? It was apparently it's a comedy, right? It's a comedy. It cost $130 million to make.
It's a comedy It's like an intentional comedy starring Tom Cruise.
He's an oilman that destroys the world, and then the president of the United States is like, "Dog, you got to fix everything." At least
because Top Gun's not supposed to be a comedy, but it is. In the same way, it's not supposed to be gay, but it is.
So
shout out to Val Kilmer.
So as bad of a summer as because we talked about
guys still can't believe they named the movie Digger.
They did. They really. I'm not lying.
Like that's
his name is like in the movie he's playing a guy.
His name is John Digger.
I think it's Jack Digger. I could be wrong.
Oh my god. The racists are going to have a field day.
Digger Rockwell is his name.
His first name is Digger and his last name is Rockwell.
Yes.
We need to
John Goodman is in it though.
Okay, well now you got me convinced. All right, John Goodman's
Shia
involved.
LaBeouf, Jesse Plemons, big names.
I mean, John Goodman. Okay, it depends. Is John Goodman the president?
I think so. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so might have a chance.
So basically, it's just a bunch of stuffy old white guys. Talking about
doing a stupid comedy movie about oil.
Yeah. Now it's going to be very like on the nose, right? Which could be fun, but
it's satire so obvious you'd think people wouldn't miss the point of it, and yet they still will. But
the fact of the matter is that WB has had such a rough summer that that's a pretty sorry state to be in, where you're like, all right, well, let's just hope that our $100 million comedy is gonna like make us some of the money back. Otherwise, it's all Dune.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's all Dune.
All right, Denny, you better hope you got the third one locked and loaded.
But yeah, we talked in the last episode about how Spielberg, and we'll have to see how the Dog Stars does, but that's Ridley Scott.
Really stupid name for a movie.
It was based on a book with the same name, so
really stupid name for a book. As much as I do support Ridley Scott and I like his direction style, and Alien is one of the best movies I think I've ever seen, but like, I've seen trailers to this movie. Obviously, I haven't seen it because I'm broke and I don't go see movies. Despite having strong opinions on them, I'm LARPing.
That's okay, Brian. You can have strong opinions.
But it's like, dog. What is it even about? I've seen like 6 trailers for it. I couldn't tell you one thing about the plot.
And I'm not familiar with the book, so I couldn't tell you that either. But
let me look at the IMDb page.
Anyway, Spielberg had a really rough summer. He did Disclosure Day. That was a rough result for him.
Yeah, that one I remember again seeing a trailer for it and hearing absolutely nothing about it.
It had a Super Bowl commercial, so that tells you where they expected it to kind of be at in terms of like kind of mainstream interest, and it just wasn't there. Tom Cruise comes from like that same era of like Spielberg and Ridley Scott.
Yeah.
And like, so my query is
this
the
movie
same.
has Allison Janney. I love Allison Janney.
What's the plot?
The Dog Stars?
Yeah.
IMDb summation. In a post-apocalyptic world, a virus wipes out humanity. Survivors face roaming scavengers called Reapers. Protagonist Hig, H-I-G, a pilot, survived the flu but lost his wife. Stars Jacob Elordi, Margaret Qualley, and Josh Brolin. And Margaret Qualley, you might know as being that lady who was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I do remember her from that.
And Happy Gilmore 2. Some other stuff. Anyway, I remember her from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Hopefully she gets a big break in this then.
Yeah, she was very good in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
She was.
And Allison Janney's in this movie. If you don't know who Allison Janney is, you may know her from The Help, The West Wing. She was C.J. Craig on The West Wing. Those are probably, if you're going to know her, the 2 things you'll know her for. But there's some other stuff. She was in a lot of movies in the 2000s.
Brolin has been all over the place, too.
Josh Brolin has been in, like, everything. I'm always amazed when I see him pop up.
Actually, he's going to be in Dune later this year as well.
He is. I forgot he was that guy whose name escapes me with the sitar in Dune.
Yeah.
Gurney Halleck. I forgot he was Gurney Halleck.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Hey, I mean, could have a big year, right? But I think Jacob Elordi's having a good year. He was in stuff.
I don't know. I don't know how general audience is, because we've talked about how the average movie-going age is about 30 to 40 now.
Yeah.
I don't know how the average movie-going audience is going to respond to, first of all, Ridley Scott, and I don't know how they're going to respond to Tom Cruise either.
I would say I have more doubts about Tom Cruise than I do Ridley Scott, because fundamentally Ridley Scott knows how to make a good movie.
Yeah.
Like, he's proven to us that he can make movies that are very good.
I resent that. I like Tom Cruise.
I like Tom Cruise the actor or Tom Cruise the writer-director? Because I don't really like either of them.
Tom Cruise the stunt man.
I don't really like anything about Tom Cruise.
In Mission Impossible? Tom Cruise the stunt man?
Do you mean the stunt man they got to do the stuff for Tom Cruise?
That was Tom Cruise.
I don't believe that.
Okay.
Scientology wouldn't let him put his body on the line like that.
He's not a Scientologist anymore.
Yes, he is.
I don't think so.
Riley, they don't let you live if you're a celebrity.
Oh, okay.
They hunt you down and replace you with a clone.
I didn't realize.
True facts about the Church of Scientology: they're committing tax evasion.
I believe it.
I'm unironically, bad political opinion is religious institutions should not be exempt from federal taxes, and even if they are going to be, the Church of Scientology is not a religious institution; it's a scam.
So
anyway,
now that you've upset the Church of Scientology,
yeah. Now that I'm on the list for them, right? I've got the Scientology hit squad. Let's talk about Jacob Elordi or something. What were we talking about?
I did want to talk about actors who have really been carrying film this summer.
Yeah.
And I just kind of made my own kind of ragtag list.
Yeah.
Most of these guys though are so expensive now. I can't think of a single thing on earth that they could get a gig for unless it's a movie that is
extremely
$100
high
million
budget. Yeah.
at least. But you have Tom Holland,
Spider-Man, The Odyssey. Those are the two big ones, right?
He's gonna be in Avengers.
Yeah.
Playing the same character, but
yeah. Zendaya for similar reasons. Spider-Man and Dune.
So I will say, this is where I wanted to talk about Robert Pattinson. Dude, he is awesome. He's trying desperately hard to get people to forget that he was ever in Twilight.
Oh, absolutely.
He's trying so hard to get people to forget that was actually how he cut his teeth in film. He's trying so hard.
I'm looking at his IMDb page, and the top 4 movies on the little known for thing is Twilight, Twilight Eclipse, Twilight Breaking Dawn, The Batman.
That's insane.
So and then you have him be at a bunch of stuff.
So he's in the Odyssey. He was great in the Odyssey.
Yeah.
They've got Batman Part 2 coming out.
Yep.
Have you seen Primetime, which is that it's not out yet, but A24 put out a trailer which exploded.
I think I've seen the trailer. I don't necessarily remember.
It is Robert Pattinson is playing Chris Hansen.
Oh yes, this movie. I want to go see this movie.
Yeah, To Catch a Predator.
It's such a good concept for a film. Chris Hansen's still alive, but
he is so good in that. Every time he's on screen, I'm he's perfect.
Yes,
he's perfect.
He does such a good Chris Hansen.
He does.
It's crazy.
I've already seen those memes of you know how this looks, right?
Yeah,
I love those memes. He's trying so hard to get past the point in his career where everyone's hey, look, it's the guy from Twilight.
I mean, hey, at least Harry Potter stopped showing up on his known for.
Yeah,
because that was another thing a lot of people knew him from, was being Cedric Diggory. Also, crazy name for a character. And shout out J.K. Rowling. She'd have Fenian McCarbomb in her books if she could. Yes, he was Cedric Diggory.
Her editor told her to take that name out, actually. But she
really the one Asian character in the whole book is called Cho Chang, so she's not very on the nose. Well, she's not very subtle with it, I mean.
John Bernthal.
Having a great year.
He's having a great year. Anne Hathaway, I had to bring her up. Not just because of her on-screen stuff, but have you seen her out in public? When everybody bugs her about her pregnancy and stuff?
She's pregnant?
Yeah. Her PR is so good. She is so good about not coming off like a jerk, but still handling the situation in a manner that kind of gets you to realize that these paparazzi are being really invasive right now.
Yeah.
Her PR is so good.
Well, dude, it's because she's just kind of a nice person.
The
vibe I get from Anne Hathaway is that she's kind of just a nice person.
Even when she gets heckled and stuff, she manages to make it lighthearted and fun. It's crazy.
John Bernthal was Menelaus?
Yes. Yeah, in the Odyssey. Yeah. Yeah.
Not who I would have cast him as. I'd have cast him as Greater Ajax, but okay. Is Greater Ajax even in the Odyssey?
I think he's dead already.
Oh yeah, he drowned already. Yeah.
He was dead by the time. I mean, then again, they had parts of the Trojan.
Yeah, in the flashbacks and whatever, right? And they probably had Achilles for 20 minutes or whatever. I know they had I know they had Elliot Page in the movie, and that made a lot of people angry and their feelings hurt because we can't have a twins person in the movie by Cliff Nolan. Shut up. Shut up.
He was in there for how long?
He was in he wasn't even in the movie for 20 minutes.
Died immediately.
Yeah, was in the movie for 15 minutes, right? Was in the movie.
Spoilers. If you
spoiler alert!
Yeah,
sign on, aka Elliot Page dies. Crazy! It's the Trojan War, dude. Everyone except Odysseus dies.
Literally, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Literally, I think everyone except Odysseus dies. Maybe Lesser Ajax lives.
I mean, they go to Hades, you know, and
Well,
he discovers like,
shut
how
up.
many.
That's not what I'm talking about.
But they're, he's the only one that makes it home. At least on his sets of boats. There are, you know.
Well, no, I mean, okay. I think as far as I am aware, Menelaus makes it back.
Yeah.
Probably okay.
Yeah. It's just Odysseus's men that don't.
No, Agamemnon gets killed horribly when he gets home.
But not his men. Him and his men make it home. And
Yeah, but Agamemnon dies horribly in a net.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Shout out to Clytemnestra. Hey, we love Clytemnestra here.
So yeah, but big Ryan Gosling.
Yep,
from,
another
he's having
big
a great
big
summer.
movie.
From
I mean, just Project Hail
Mary
Mary
alone.
Hugely popular, hugely influential. I have people in my life who don't see movies who want to talk to me about that movie.
Tom Cruise, can he be big this summer? I don't know.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Again, I'm not the biggest fan of Top Gun Maverick for a number of reasons.
Mm-hmm.
But it did gross very well. It was very popular. People
Right.
went to go see it. It's just like, what was his big hit before that? What was the last thing Tom Cruise was in before Top Gun Maverick?
It was a lot of Mission Impossibles, but for some reason those are just not. I really enjoy the Mission Impossible movies, but they were not main. They were never mainstream.
Well, and it's like,
Never terribly mainstream.
well, and the appeal for them, I guess, is just generic action movie.
Yeah, but they're really not generic. I mean, they are the best action movies not starring superheroes that I can think of.
I mean, I have a few off the top of my head I liked more.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody, Bob Odenkirk.
I do
great
like
film.
I do, and John Wick's if you know.
Yeah, John Wick, obviously.
Yeah.
If you've seen, oh God, what movie am I thinking of? The Accountant, the first one with Ben
Yes.
Affleck, John Barenthal. Great
Actually,
movie.
yeah, that's true.
And the
sequel.
Yeah, and the sequel. The first Sicario movie. Both the big shooty action movie.
Before Taylor Sheridan.
Yeah, back when Denis Villeneuve directed them.
Yeah.
And they were actually good.
And before Taylor Sheridan started writing every TV show you've ever seen ever.
Yes. Yeah, back when Sicario was good. Great movie. Recently haven't been keeping up with them nearly as much, but the Mission Impossibles particularly, I think, kind of filled the void that James Bond movies used to film, where the Bond movies have been getting bigger and bigger and higher production value and higher production value and higher, and they're digging into the books a little more and using some of the deeper plot threads as much as they exist. I mean, Ian Fleming's a good writer, but like, God, some of his plots are just insane.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, a Chinese man has gained control of a nuclear submarine. What shall we do?
Well, yeah. I mean, and to a certain extent, that's how the Mission Impossible ones go too.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, these guys have atomic bomb.
Go get rid of it.
Okay.
Well, but I think my point of comparison is that they're these largely serialized action movies with plots you can kind of color in your head.
That's true. Yeah.
But the action is still so well done.
Yeah.
Their film as a medium
it's well
for,
shot, and it's not the biggest thing is it's not choppily edited.
No, it's
choppily edited action movies just are so overdone.
It's a movie as a visual art, not necessarily a storytelling art, where you're in it for
the stunts, the big explosions,
kind of the same reason you're in like a Kingsman movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Like all of those, all the plots are insane.
Yeah.
Don't expect it to. Yeah, all the plots of the Kingsman movies are insane. Love those films. They're great. Especially the one that happens in World War I, and they get like Rasputin's in it.
They have to fight on the top of
giant plateau thing,
the biggest cliff you've ever seen in your entire life.
For no reason whatsoever.
Because the guy was living up there.
Yeah, and they have to
luring him down. They just decide to go up.
Yeah, and then they kill Rasputin, not the guys who actually killed him. Anyway. I think Mission Impossible and sort of the like B-tier action movie genre in general are not super mainstream, but they will always be just popular enough to keep getting made.
Right, exactly. So I don't know if you can call him a big star anymore, because a lot of his big star making stuff, I mean,
happened a long time ago.
Quite a while ago, and now he makes break even stuff, but he does not make. Is he a needle mover? He doesn't seem to be a needle mover anymore.
Again, looking at his IMDb page, right? We are looking at Top Gun, 1986.
Mm-hmm.
First Mission Impossible, 1996. Mission Impossible 2, 2000. Minority Report, 2002, which might be the first movie on that the movie in the group before that's actually good. All right, but he's been Mission Impossible, 2 Mission Impossible movies since Top Gun Maverick. He was in Jack Reacher in 2016, back when he was Jack Reacher, not buff guy who's been in stuff.
Yeah.
Whose name eludes me. But he's
actually pretty cool. If you've ever seen some interviews with Alan Richson, that's his
Alan
name.
Richson, cool man.
He's got some pretty interesting interviews and stuff.
He was in Eyes Wide Shut. Tom Cruise was in Eyes Wide Shut.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's interesting. Oh yeah, he was in. My point here is that you have to go back pretty far to get movies I would say are good.
A few good men.
Yeah, like Interview with the Vampire, Minority Report, Last Samurai. Then it gets tough. Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
2014.
That one was not.
Depends on your definition of good.
Yeah. That was pretty. I would say it was a very fair movie. It was a very average movie.
It depends on your definition of good. And then you have to go back further.
Yeah.
Right? Where we're looking at like 1985.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, really, like his heyday. Yeah.
Like we're looking. Interview with the Vampire was 1994. First Mission Impossible is 96. Then you have like Vanilla Sky.
Yeah.
2001. Minority Report 2002. He was in Austin Powers. Last Samurai is a pretty solid movie.
That first Top Gun.
Yeah, first Top Gun. Well, first Top Gun. They massacred my boy, the F-14.
Mm-hmm.
Legitimately my favorite jet-powered aircraft of all time, and they did it so dirty.
That movie was even more like fake feeling than.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did that movie so dirty.
Yeah.
Because they're not using the F-14 correctly. The F-A-18 existed. The thing they're doing in Top Gun Maverick, they're doing it with the F-18E.
Mm.
In the first Top Gun movie, the thing they were doing, you should have been doing with the A6 Intruder, the A7 Corsair II, or the F-A-18A. Okay? You don't do that with an F-14. You know why you don't do that with an F-14?
Why don't you?
Because the computer in an F-14 is worth like $60 million just by itself. That's not including the radar.
Right.
That's just the computer. Okay? You don't do that with an F-14. It's not a strike jet. It can be a strike jet, but it shouldn't be.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fleet defense interceptor. And I resent Top Gun for doing it. However, they did get some really cool glamour shots of F-14s. It's a shame they were F-14As, because the F-14A sucks.
So that we have some time to talk about it, I'm going to leave the actors there, but there are a couple of other good ones that have really been...
Just rattle them off and I won't talk about them at all.
Oh, okay.
Just let's go. Come on. You're too slow.
We'll leave it there.
Oh my God.
We'll leave it there.
Now let me do my bits, damn it.
So I did want to nitpick the new Spider-Man.
Okay. What are we nitpicking about it?
A whole bunch of stuff.
Okay.
I wanted to start out with reading you an excerpt, though, from the introduction to this DC 04 comic that was called Trinity.
Okay.
Written by Matt Wagner, but the introduction is by a guy named Brad Meltzer. There's some age to this dude, so he brings up some examples that are like super outdated to like us.
Yeah.
But he basically writes, the icons are the hardest. It's true. Nothing is as difficult as writing the characters that are. He says that people think that it's because the characters are impossible to define, but that's actually the opposite. The characters are so well defined, in fact, in their actions and reactions that it can be predicted. So that's the hard part of writing, like the icons.
Yeah.
He brings up Cheers, MASH, Seinfeld. He's got some age on him.
Hey, MASH was good.
I'm not denying that. I'm just saying
but MASH is old.
He talks about
he talks about
BJ and Hawkeye and Jerry and George from Seinfeld, and he talks about how these people are so well understood and their characters are so well defined that it's really hard to do anything than just make a complimentary story of the characters. It's really hard to surprise people, is what I was saying. So that all leads me to feel like what Spider-Man Brand New Day does very well is it feels like a Spider-Man story ripped straight from a comic.
Yeah.
And it's very complimentary to the character and like how he would behave. On a certain level, is it a super exciting movie as a movie as opposed to like a comic book movie? Like, is it better than those old Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies? When those movies actually had a fair amount to say about, like, with great power comes great responsibility, right? Like
they had a fair, they had like some substance.
They
to
had
them.
the themes to back them up.
And then the Andrew Garfield ones were a thing.
They were a thing. But Spider-Man's had like 9 movies or whatever.
Yeah.
If
had
not
at
more
least
than
3
that.
with Maguire, at least 3 with Garfield, and I think there's 4 with Holland.
Mm-hmm. And then they
More
have,
if you count MCU movies.
And then they have 2 animated ones with another
Yeah.
on the way. So this is a well-defined character. So the tough part is like Meltzer says, how do you make a story that's still exciting to people while you have this like incredibly well-defined character? Everyone already knows what Spider-Man is, who he is, how he acts, etc., etc. Now you have to be like, okay, how do we excite people? Because what he does is not going to be the exciting part. We already know what he's going to do.
Trans him. Trans her.
But you've got to make. But you know.
Am I allowed to make that joke?
Probably.
Okay.
I would. I'll say yes.
Okay.
That would be exciting. It would certainly be very interesting.
Yeah, I've seen enough things on the internet about it to believe it's possible.
Yeah, but what I liked about this movie, it feels like it's straight from the pages of a comic. It's got for some reason this feels like the only Spider-Man movie or the only MCU movie in a really long time to feel like it's in an interconnected universe with all these other people, because they have Punisher, Hulk, Jean Grey in it. Along with like the damage control guys that you've been seeing throughout like all these other Spider-Man movies.
Presumably they have J.K. Simmons.
They actually don't in this one.
Really? Why?
I guess he got too expensive or didn't want to do it.
What do you mean too expensive? He's J.K. Simmons. He'll be in anything. He's like the male Anna Kendrick. He'll be in anything. And like him and John Malkovich.
Florence Pugh is even in it though.
Who?
White Widow, or they're calling her Black Widow, but she should be White Widow, but like Black Widow.
Oh, is she oh my, that's Florence Pugh?
Yeah, that's Florence Pugh. Anyway,
I don't know why I'm thinking of Sydney Sweeney's face in my head. That's why.
They're not the same person.
I know. I'm thinking of Sydney Sweeney's face in my head. That's why.
But I love the fact that it feels like he goes and visits Hulk. Like,
yeah.
He talks with Punisher.
Yep.
You know, like it's one of those things where I'm like, yes, because you're in a comic book universe,
and Frank Castle is in New York.
They're all in New York.
And Frank Castle is in New York. You can go and find him and have a talk with him, and he'll probably tell you to kill your problems. But
and even like Hulk, which I don't understand at all, because Hulk is back at his like professor job, even though he's like trashed all manner of things. And literally they saw Thunderbolt Ross turn into a Hulk and like destroy the White House like just a couple of years ago in the MCU canon.
Maybe keep some eyes on this guy.
Yeah, like how are you allowing him to teach at university?
Yeah.
Like there would be so many problems with that.
Legally, I don't think it's a good idea.
But it's so cool. I mean, yeah, so it feels dorky, but like he's going and talking to, I'm like, do this. The story is clearly about Spider-Man, but like he has other characters through the universe that he like goes and gets things from and talks to for a little bit. And it makes it feel like, oh yeah, like they're all existing in the same space and time.
Just from the MCU stuff he's been in, he's had good connection with other people like that historically, right? Going back to like with Tony Stark when he was around. Doctor Strange is a big one, even a little bit with Captain America.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I think Spider-Man as a character is just very compatible with other MCU characters.
Yeah.
Because sort of the raison d'etre of Spider-Man is so broadly positive.
Mm-hmm. Right?
So having him interact with another character whose outlook is broadly positive, like Steve Rogers. Shout out my uncle. His social security number is XYZ123757. I don't think that's even enough digits. That's not his real social security number. And it has letters in it, so don't try it anywhere. But no, like Captain America, right? Where another character whose outlook is very positive, interacts well, He's a good contrast to characters whose outlooks are more negative, like the Punisher or Tony Stark.
You bring up Wolverine and Deadpool, and like Punisher is a great foil for Spider-Man.
Oh, he's great, yeah. He's like the anti-Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Because they basically believe the same thing. With great power comes great responsibility. It's just that the way they understand that responsibility is different.
It's the best parts of if you remember that Daredevil show. What really piqued people's interest about that is
Daredevil and
Punisher and their differing views on like how you actually stop crime.
Yes.
And
so, where Punisher is very much in the kill 'em all, God will sort 'em out camp, and every other MCU character is like, no, I believe in rehabilitative justice.
But
to be clear, so do I.
But the fact that they're placed at odds in this is good. It's really good. And he never feels like he's hogging the show, Punisher. Like he is a supporting character. Like he just is there, and it's still Peter's story. Yeah, and that's awesome.
Also, such good casting. That's like really good casting.
Yeah, it is.
Just to kind of bring John Barenthal's perfect for the Punisher, and that ship sailed years ago, but such a great choice.
So this is gonna sound like a backhanded compliment, but Brand New Day is the first MCU movie I've seen in a while where I actually could notice the fact that they were on real sets with real set pieces.
That's bad.
And as a result, the direction is miles better because these guys are not having to imagine that they're in.
They're not having to like. Yeah,
they're not standing around a green screen and being like, "Oh yes, a war-torn battlefield." It's like they made it.
Yeah, it's like you're giving them something to actually work with, not just asking the director and the actors to fully imagine this space.
Yeah. So as a result, they actually can put more time and effort into thinking like, okay, how would we traverse this street corner? How would he go up and down these, stairs and stuff?
Yeah.
As opposed to making it all from scratch because they don't have any sets.
I think with some movies you can make that work. You can make having very few sets work, but you have to have actors who are extremely bought in and a director with an extremely clear vision of what he wants to happen.
Right.
And a director who will absolutely beat that vision into the actors no matter what they want.
Yeah.
And I don't think Marvel films have that. I don't think they've had that.
No.
I don't think they've ever had that.
No.
Even their good directors like Jon Favreau don't direct like that. I say that because I think JJ, coming back to Star Wars, the prequels were kind of like this at points. Obviously, they had sets, but also a lot of the world the characters lived in was, because they're deliberately trying to be larger than the original trilogy, was a lot of it on a green screen. But you had Spielberg and, to a lesser degree, J.J. Abrams, who is less involved than Spielberg on these movies, but was around, and that's why he got pegged for Episode 7, right? You have Spielberg. I want to say Spielberg directed those movies. Let me just absolutely
the prequels.
Yeah, let me just absolutely check myself because
I think it was George Lucas
directed them. I know he wrote them.
I think he directed.
Because if he directed them, that's actually impressive. Because he's not a very good director. I know Spielberg directed all of the Indiana Jones movies, and I think part of the original trilogy. Let me find out. Oh, never mind. I'm stupid. Apparently it was George Lucas.
I think he was writer-director for all three.
He was writer-director for the entire original trilogy. Let me see, now we're just having a Star Wars thing. Anyway.
What was your point?
My point here is that with particularly the prequels, you saw what happens when you kind of just put these characters in a green screen and you tell them to do the thing.
Well, and the relative inexperience of everyone involved in the prequels, too, contributed to that as well.
But then in the same movie, I'm talking about Episode 1 here, in the same movie, you have Liam Neeson doing one of the most convincing performances of a Jedi I've ever seen when they are actually in the physical set.
Yeah.
Right? Like, the Duel of the Fates and the fight on Tatooine are both two of the best fights in all of Star Wars. And it's because Liam Neeson is in a place doing a thing he can understand.
Yeah.
And then you put Ewan McGregor, who had been in, like, Train Spotting and Moulin Rouge.
Yeah.
Hey, actually, hadn't even been in Moulin Rouge yet. He'd been in, like, Train Spotting, right? Into this movie. And you're just like, yes, Ewan, just imagine yourself on a desert planet.
Well, that's a lot of the problem people had with Natalie Portman and Hayden Christensen as well. Is, like, they have them in front of these CGI, like, sets all the time. I'm like, these guys are young. These guys are really
Hayden
young.
Christensen was like 17.
Yeah. Like,
Natalie Portman was like 20.
Yeah. I'm like, you can't expect them to even the best actors, you can't expect that kind of result out of them on a green screen set. Much less these kids that, have never had like a big box office performance in their lives. But it gets better results out of everybody. The directing, the actors, everybody. When they're in front of like a real place.
Yes. Like having a real set for your actors to exist in and
this movie
play around in.
This movie just confirmed that for me.
Yeah. When even if we do look at like highly successful franchise movies that are not Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, that movie was partially so successful because Peter Jackson chose to hike out to New Zealand and shoot it on site instead of in a green screen.
That's actually one of the things I respect about Ridley Scott quite a bit.
Yes, he will go out to the middle of nowhere and shoot the movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what I didn't like is that every single superhero now has a Batcave.
Yes.
With a high-tech artificial intelligence and like 16 dual monitor Microsoft Pro.
You know how expensive
OSs.
those are?
It completely fights with Spider-Man's whole character. It's supposed to be like this poverty-stricken
broke boy.
Falcon. He's if you remember the Falcon and Winter Soldier, he's this bayou fisherman in Louisiana.
Yeah.
Why does he get a Batcave? Why are they all getting Batcaves with these computers and these it's so dumb.
Yeah.
It's so dumb. And it forces you to. There are parts of the movie where Peter is like, oh, I don't have money for food, or he's ordering really cheap food, or all this other stuff.
It's like, dog, sell your monitors. You've got 16 of them. You only need 2.
I'm like, how'd you even design that artificial intelligence? What kind of computer is it running on?
It's like, what, you got like 6 3090s under there somewhere?
Right?
Like, you have enough PC hardware to like run the country of like.
No wonder hardware prices are rising so fast.
Spider-Man bought them all.
Spider-Man bought them all. It's for all these superhero layers.
Yeah, maybe the media might have a point about Spider-Man. Maybe J.K. Simmons is right.
He's a menace.
He's a
criminal. No, but I did think that, and this also has to go into what I was going to say, which is that the MCU has way too many like teenage geniuses.
Yeah, that's
Spider-Man
kind of their.
Is way smarter and way stronger, and
at least Tony Stark was middle-aged.
Yeah, like he's way smarter, stronger, and morally upstanding than every other character in the entire everything.
Yes.
Well, and I get that he's the draw. I know everyone's like, well, I love Spider-Man, right? So like make Spider-Man good at everything. But he's not struggling, folks.
Well, they haven't even done like, I think probably the best Spider-Man arc, which is like Venom. Mm-hmm. Like Venom is probably the best Spider-Man arc, and they haven't done it with Tom Holland yet. And I wonder if they're,
even though Venom is supposedly
its own thing.
They the Sony Tom Hardy Venom though, they leave part of the symbiote in Tom Holland's universe.
Yeah.
It's there somewhere.
Like, but I honestly, to your point, I think they should do Venom. Because Venom as like a concept is Peter Parker taking on more power, essentially, getting stronger to be Spider-Man, but also that power actively nagging at him to do bad things. And it's for a character who can admittedly be kind of one note, as he's basically just a good person. Right. It's good. Again, we talked about like his interactions with the Punisher and the Punisher being a good foil to him. Venom is a good foil to him. Yeah. Like Venom as a concept is a good foil to him. Venom and the symbiote Black Spider-Man suit is a good arc for him. I wonder if the way they're taking Spider-Man and the way they're doing his arcs and the villains they're choosing and the stories they're choosing to tell, admittedly, well, I think some of them are interesting, and they're going after, sort of lesser explored Spider-Man characters like Vulture and Mysterio and the guy in the third one.
The guy in the third one?
Yeah, whose name escapes me. Well, the third one was also like nostalgia bait because it had like Jamie Foxx as Electro.
It had literally everyone.
Had Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin.
It was like the Sinister Six, but I think there were only 5 of them.
Yeah. The Sinister Six minus the one guy who we couldn't book, right?
The Sinister Six, but oh wait, there aren't actually 6 of them. But like, don't. It's the
Because what was Green Goblin, Doc Ock,
it was all
Electro,
the former Spider-Man
Vulture,
villains. So it was Sandman,
Sandman.
Electro Lizard,
Oh yeah, and
Green Goblin, Doctor Octopus.
Yeah.
But
But in this one, who's the villain in this one?
Jean Grey.
Seriously?
Yeah.
For like Phoenix reasons?
No.
This
This is pre-Phoenix Force.
So why is she the villain? What, is she not in the X-Men yet?
This is another thing that I have a problem with, which is that the villain. Okay, so they're doing it for universe building.
Okay.
They need Jean Grey in this movie, and they need her established in this universe pronto because she's got to be in all the Avengers movies. She's got to be in
X-Men because they're probably going to do Dark Phoenix again.
So they can mess it up again.
Yeah, so they can butcher like the best arc in X-Men comics again.
Which Fox has already done it twice. We'll see if Disney does it.
They already butchered Apocalypse in Days of Future Past and everything except First Class basically, and Magneto. But
Jean Grey is upset with Damage Control in this movie, who has killed her sister.
Okay.
And so she is upset by the systemic oppression of the mutants, which is that's a well-known
which
X-Men
is the X-Men's whole thing. Yeah.
And so she is up. She wants to do kind of what Punisher wants to do. She wants hard justice.
She wants to go the Magneto route, not the Charles Xavier route.
And Spider-Man's telling her,
hey,
can't let you
maybe go to this school in upstate Massachusetts.
My problem with that is that it does not feel like they have thought out the antagonist any farther than she's got to be in this universe. You can't kill her off. Let's just arc her character into kind of buying into the whole Spider-Man mythos. And then send her on her merry way. She'll be in the Avengers and the X-Men.
Yeah, she'll be in the X-Men movie sometime later.
But you think about like what Green Goblin and Doc Ock and even like Sandman in those original trilogy of movies, what they were doing to Spider-Man was they were playing the opposite of him. Yeah. Right? So in that first Spider-Man movie, Peter says, with great power comes great responsibility. I'm Spider-Man. I'm powerful, which means I have to be responsible with my usage. Green Goblin says, well, I have great power. That just means I'm going to abuse the heck out of it. It means I can
do whatever I want.
I can do whatever I want. And it's kind of the same thing with Doc Ock. He's like, I have a dream. I don't care who I hurt. I'm going to do this thing. And Peter's like, no, to do the right thing, you have to give up everything. Because that's the right thing to do. Which the whole movie is, you think about all those early Spider-Man movies, all they're really demonstrating to you is what got people to really love Spider-Man was that they saw Peter making these kinds of points, but he's not blowing smoke. He's not. Yeah,
he's walking the walk and talking the talk.
The walk. Like when he tells them to give up everything because it's the right thing to do, you see him do that, which is why I'm like, this stupid, nerdy Batcave kid going and talking to another like teenager and being like, "Got to do the right thing, kid," is so frustrating. It's like it feels unearned. It feels so much more unearned. I don't know.
This might be the like bleeding heart, woke mind virus, historical context lover because for particularly the X-Men and mutants. Okay, something I've been very much convinced of as time goes on. It has gotten harder and harder and harder to pretend like Magneto is a bad guy. There's a point to this, I swear. Yeah. Right? It's getting harder and harder and harder to pretend like Magneto's point of view is incorrect. Right?
Yeah.
And
it makes me very excited for the new X-Men.
I actually kind of am. I want to see what they do with Magneto.
Have you read before you go on? Have you read the there's this really interesting article and it's the it's like the like neo superheroes and the problem with them and like in societies with like systemic oppression. No, it's so interesting because these like the neo superhero character arc is always fight for the system, do what's right, pretty much. But they end up just policing an oppressive like system. It's a fascinating.
And then you wind up with Magneto. Yeah. And the best
thing. Are these villains wrong? They just want radical change to systemically oppressive.
Magneto's
system.
not actually wrong. Yeah. He survived the Holocaust. I'd be mad too. Yeah. Like Probably one of my favorite scenes in all of the Fox X-Men movies is Magneto in the bar in Argentina, just magnetizing the guy who made him like levitate the coin, right? And him arguing with young Charles Xavier about what are we going to do with ourselves. But I think particularly with Jean Grey and the X-Men and mutants, you do have to, I think, be more careful, because mutants are such an allegory for oppressed classes.
Right.
They're an allegory for racism. They're an allegory for any kind of categorical hate you want to put there.
Any reason that anybody has been systemically
Yes.
oppressed. They're a metaphor for all of that.
And so you have to kind of take mutants as villains with a very large grain of salt, and you have to treat them very carefully. Right. Because I think what makes a good mutant villain who is genuinely a bad guy?
Right.
All right. Excluding Magneto from that, because that's a different conversation for another day. Mm-hmm. Excluding Magneto, you have Apocalypse, ancient unknowable terror from beyond time. Mm-hmm. The Dark Phoenix, ancient unknowable terror from beyond time. Frog guy. Fat guy.
Are you talking about?
I'm talking about Toad and the fat guy from the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants.
Yeah.
Also, really on the nose name, the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. Emma Frost.
It's convenient for the writers. They're like, oh yeah, this is the evil villain staple. Yeah.
Emma Frost, a character who is not evil but opposes the characters. Right. Same thing with Magneto, a character who's not bad but opposes the characters.
Speaking of allegory, think about the allegory of like what Mystique's powers actually are.
Yeah.
Right. It's
shape-shifting. Yeah, there's a whole lot of stuff with that. So shout out Jennifer Lawrence. Tall woman with a big butt.
I thought that it was really kind of it was limiting.
Yeah.
Yeah. What they were doing with it, and a lot of that is not Brand New Day's fault singularly.
Yes.
Because the problem is it has to literally pick up like from a whole trilogy of movies inside of a pre-existing interconnected universe, which.
And you also have to shoehorn Jean Grey into it somehow.
And the shareholders are like, put in more characters, more.
You have to shoehorn Jean Grey, who as a character has like one arc associated with her and then kind of does nothing for the rest of X-Men. Except to be, a character in those plots, but she's not the focus of them. You have to put her in a Spider-Man movie, so now mutants are in the MCU, but have they always been there? Are they a new thing? What's going on?
The reveal of her, I thought, was well done.
Okay.
For what it was, I thought it was well done, because everybody was like, who is the villain of this movie?
Yeah.
Right? Like, what is going on?
Who is the antagonist?
They really don't establish a villain in this movie for a solid hour.
That's interesting.
It's a 2.5 hour long movie.
2.5 hours? Brad's an MCU movie. Get out of here.
It's got all this stuff.
You barely get an hour and a half of my time. You sure as hell don't get 2.5 hours.
But I guess my point is Brand New Day bad? Like, by no stretch it's bad, but it's so hard to say that that it is a better or it is a more ultimately is it the ultimate Spider-Man like story?
Probably not.
Is it the ultimately influential like Spider-Man story?
Yeah. Well,
I don't think it is.
I think a good measuring stick is
not even close.
I think a good measuring stick for this is Homecoming.
Yeah.
Like, is it a better movie than Homecoming? Because genuinely, my thoughts about Spider-Man Homecoming is I could care less about the characters. It's just a good movie.
Yeah.
Like, the MC movies are at their best when they are just a good movie with extra stuff.
Brand New Day is a good movie, and it's probably a better movie than Homecoming. Is it a better Spider-Man movie than any of the Miles Morales animated ones?
Absolutely not.
Probably not.
Absolutely not. Miles Morales is my goat.
Is it better than any of the Tobey Maguire trilogy? Like, I don't think so.
Yeah. Is it better than the Andrew Garfield ones? We'll see.
Maybe. Yeah. So
Andrew Garfield's definitely more attractive.
I just think that.
No comment on that, Riley?
I mean.
Okay. Continue.
You believe what you want to believe.
Oh yeah. What are you, a Tom Holland truther?
Not really.
You like Timothée Chalamet?
He's fine, I guess.
I see him at the Knicks games. He's a worshiper of the blood god. If you like the New York Knickerbockers, NBA basketball team, I need you to know. I'm looking directly at the camera. I need you to know
They are worshippers of an antediluvian blood god, and they're vampires. All right? In the same way that the Oklahoma City Thunders are worshippers of the rider upon the clouds, the mightiest of all the old world's divines, Baal.
I did not like Timothy Chalamet when he grew any facial hair.
I agree with you. That's disgusting.
But
You should have no hair on your body below your eyebrows.
Well, he definitely shouldn't. He could not.
Yeah,
grow a
no,
mustache.
he
the
cannot
fact that
pull
he
off.
tried was.
He kind of pulls it off in Marty Supreme.
Well, that's because that's what the character kind of requires.
Yeah. Also crazy they cast Gwyneth Paltrow in that movie.
But anyway, and Gwyneth Paltrow is in the MCU.
She is. Oh my God.
Everyone is.
Screw it. Timothy Chalamet is Doctor Doom.
Once he's done with Dune, put him in as
Put him in as someone. Make him an X-Men or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. But
make him Nightcrawler.
Well, honestly, everyone sees him being a big box office draw. They're probably going to. They're probably going to be like, "Hey, he's not in here yet.
Yeah.
Let's get him in here."
Who would he even be? Because he wouldn't be a good
know.
Scott Summers.
I don't know.
He wouldn't be a good Scott Summers.
No, they've already got a guy. He looks really good. as
Okay.
Cyclops.
Because I know X-Men 97 happened, and people really liked that show.
That was a very good show. So that means, once again, it kind of does mean that, like with Spider-Man, with X-Men, with all these movies, they're going to take them to the box office, make a whole bunch of money off of them because the box office is very profitable for these big superhero IPs. But I think that the characters were most well understood by these writers, honestly, with smaller budgets from like quite a while ago. Because you have to think that the reason that Spider-Man is as well defined as he is because of the ground that was laid all those movies before.
Yeah.
And so if you're measuring Brand New Day based off of like Meltzer's kind of introduction that he did for that Trinity comic, is yes, Spider-Man is a well-defined character, and this story highlighted, that well-defined part of his character. Did it really like push the envelope in the way that stories before it has? No, not really, not at all. And are we ever even going to get that again, or is he going to like continue to exist in like this universe,
sort of
where
just exist in limbo, where he's like a vehicle for other stuff to happen?
This universe where it's becoming like this like spreading, like
this like web of interactions that people have.
Yeah, and it's just I don't know. There's certainly less conventional art to the way that they're doing it right now. But I don't know. I don't think Brand New Day is the best Spider-Man movie.
I don't have an opinion.
Maybe the best of Tom Holland's saga, maybe. But
I really
the best
have
overall.
I really have. I don't care. I stopped caring about MCU movies in like 2019.
Well, at least you joined me on this episode.
Yeah, we
I
get to
appreciate that.
yap about movies.
We
get
gotta
to. I get to get on my high horse about the Holocaust and Magneto. I always love doing that. I always love talking bad about fascism. Anyway, yeah.
Anything you have to say?
No, because I already did my whole thing with airplanes, and I did the thing about how much I hate Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
And I did
we got all that done.
Yeah, they're worshippers of Baal.
Talked about Scientology.
Yeah,
The Church of Scientology hates you now too.
Now I've got a vampire blood cult in New York. I've got the worshippers of Baal in Oklahoma City, and Scientology out to get me. So
you're not allowed to go very many places. You're kind of limiting your
No,
options.
well, I mean, I stay strapped, so it's fine. I keep I keep that thing on me. I'm ready to up the blick on my opposition, Riley.
Okay.
But no, I wish we had more B tier movies. I wish we had more movies that were like mid-budget and kind of good. Because like those are good. I like them. They're fun. I wish Quentin Tarantino made another movie. I'd probably watch it. Would it be good? No. Would I watch it? Yes.
Any day now.
Yeah, man. It's gonna just be 4 hours of feet.
4 hours of like feet and like one long take of like people just sitting and talking.
And then it's like 30 minutes of feet, 5 minutes of Samuel L. Jackson
narrating something.
Yeah, narrating something and saying a lot of slurs. 20 more minutes of feet. And then the end is just like he's in it at the end. It's just Quentin Tarantino looking directly at the camera and going, "I'm the director of this movie. I'm also in it because I think that's cool."
And then he blows up.
Yeah, and then like someone shoots him in the back of the head. Yeah.
And then he's gotta obviously have the completely over exaggerated
massive blood effect.
blood
Like it
squirts everywhere.
explodes out of him. I will say I did watch a movie recently that was very bad. I watched Shark and Saw, a women's prison massacre,
Oh yeah, you asked me if I had ever seen that, and I was like, "What is that?"
which as a film is so bad.
Mm-hmm.
CGI is weirdly good. The acting's bad, the props are bad, the dialogue's bad, the CGI is
Look, you take the CGI guy, leave the rest.
The casting choices are weird. Feels like most of the people in the movie hadn't been in a film you could buy at a store, right? Or you could go see in a normal theater before.
They were acting like they were.
They were acting like they were
in an online setting.
Perhaps orange and black are involved.
Perhaps.
Yes. It was like that tier of acting. Like it was bad. In fact, one of the actresses in the movie was known publicly to have done that. We'll talk about that off here because I don't think we can have that particular discussion.
No, I don't think so.
But it was bad. Also, all the characters look weird as hell. One of the main characters has earlobes like the size of my hands, and it's never talked about. I think he had gauges.
Yeah,
he probably had
probably.
gauges, and they just covered them up with a sticker. So he has a big distended earlobe. And I was like, that guy has gauges.
Why not just have him in the gauges though? Because it's not like you can. Yeah.
Beats me, man. I don't know. This movie is comically bad. I don't know any of the characters' names. We called one of them Big Boobs McGee when I was watching it in Discord. Someone gets their leg bitten off. 3 people just get eaten by sharks out of nowhere.
Nice.
The sharks aren't even the villain of the movie.
What is it with shark movies too? You ever notice that? You know,
I don't know.
Bad shark movies.
I saw the words Shark and Saw Women's Prison Massacre on the internet. I was like, I'm watching that.
I'm watching this.
I'm watching that.
And it was worth it.
Oh, absolutely.
But not for the right. But not for.
No, it
the
was so bad it's good.
Yeah.
It was such a bad movie. It was funny.
Well, that's it for this episode of Box Office Talk.
Yeah, come back for more talking about movies
in September. Have a good start to everybody's school year.
September?
Yeah.
You do one of these a month?
Yeah.
Oh wow. How did I not know that?
I don't know. You don't know what planet you're on, remember?
Yeah. I don't know what planet
Anyway,
I'm on. What's my name?
Brian.
Okay, thank you. Is that with an I or with a Y?
Y.
Thank you. I forgot that. Yeah.
So hope everybody has a good start to their school year and a good start to their fall semester, and we'll see everybody in September. Bye.